I've had ups and downs in that area. I've lived through most all of it. So, and now I've got 14 blessed grandchildren. Now, all those little headaches there that I had, I'm going, you know what? You know what? These grandkids are worth it.
Fredette for the lead. Yes! Fredette to the three. Bullseye! What a shot by Fredette!
Crunch time. The boy gave us more trays than a
He's got his J back, folks, and the eye of the tiger.
This is From the Logo with Jimmer Fredette.
Lock in, folks. I am Spencer Linton. He is Jimmer Fredette, and this is From the Logo. Always nice to have you with us for our deep-range conversations about life inside and well beyond the world of sports. Jimmer's got his winter shopping list ready to go, and it apparently now includes Costco specials in footwear.
It is incredible. Costco is getting into the footwear game. The Nike Dunks that are in Costco right now, people are going nuts over them. There's like a tracker. Have you seen this? There's like an actual Costco tracker of where they're going. So I'm waiting for it to come to Colorado. The thing is, I will say, my family, they are a little bit anti-Nike, which I would say. I am not. I haven't been. I've always been a Nike guy, but they're anti-Nike because my father has been a sales rep for so many other brands his whole life. And Nike has always been his biggest competitor. So because of that, they are, a little bit offset on Nike. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to go get the Dunks, because that's not me. That's on them. That's the way it works.
Listen, it's not just any Nike Dunk. It's a Costco Kirkland signature Nike SB Dunk, Jimmer, and there are limited quantities. And it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg because it's at a discount wholesaler.
Yeah.
So
it's incredible.
It's the best of both worlds. It is fashion. It's a name brand, but at the Costco discount.
Yeah. No, people are going to be lining up out the door for this Costco.
This is ridiculous.
Absolute special edition Dunk that is coming out. I mean, incredible marketing by them and by Nike. Kudos to you guys. Like this, they're going to sell out in a second. And you could probably you have to go in store too. So that means that once you get in store, like you're going to try 15 different samples that are there, because you always do. And then you're going to end up buying a way more than just the shoes that you went there for. So kudos to them.
How do you sample a shoe? That is my question. Do they let you put it on and wear it around the store for 15 minutes?
Costco, they for sure will. Costco will absolutely do that for you.
High demand, people. High demand stuff. And if they ever get to Utah at some point, or Colorado, you better believe one of us is going to do our best to get there and get it. We have to follow up on this, right? Someone has to deliver. And I wonder what the secondary market's going to say. Like, how much are these shoes worth?
Oh, they're going to be worth more than they should be. Let's just put it that way, right? Like, I'm sure they didn't cost very much to make. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're going to you get them at the wholesale price in the Costco, and then that price is going straight up as soon as they get on eBay. That's going to happen.
What's the retail? Is it like somewhere between 100 and 130, I would imagine? And then, what is the secondary market?
Probably.
Like, let's check StockX in about a week and see what's going on with this.
Yeah, we'll follow up with this. We're going to have a follow-up conversation on what the price is of this shoe. We're excited about it.
Fair enough. Who doesn't love a great Costco find? And apparently a must-have for sneakerheads. We make no promises to secure it from Costco, but we're going to try. But we do promise that our purpose in this podcast remains consistent and the same, and that is to uplift, educate, and entertain with an array of topics, often centered on impactful moments, experiences, and decisions that have shaped our lives and the lives of our MVP guests. Today's MVP guest is an A-plus lister and a living legend in the National Football League. Andy Reid of the Kansas City Chiefs joins us in just a few minutes to celebrate Jimmer and his approaching jersey retirement, discuss why this offseason in KC is very unique for him, and his secret to being the ideal player's coach. Jimmer, we've waited a long time for this one. Andy Reid is on the show.
I couldn't be more thrilled. Like, literally a top 5 coach in the NFL in history, in my opinion. This guy is incredible. We're winning Super Bowls, going to NFC championships, many of them with the Eagles, finally got over the hump with the Chiefs, then won 3 Super Bowls, been to a couple others. Like, and overall, just an incredible person, right? People love Andy Reid. They want to be around him. They want to be associated with him. His coaching tree is incredible in the NFL. Like it's really, really cool that we got to spend a little bit of time with Coach Reid. He was so fun. He just had a good time with us. We laughed. We had some fun, and we appreciate the time. But I hope you guys enjoy this episode because it's special.
Big Red is on From the Logo. How about it? We are ready for the opening tip-off. And here is our starting lineup today, beginning with the front runner to win an award that Jimmer has on display behind him right now. The Naismith Player of the Year in men's college basketball. Who's number 1 on the favorites list to take home that iconic hardware? By the way, Jimmer, how often do you clean that thing, bro?
I don't think I've cleaned it yet. I need to probably get on that. That's like, it stays fairly clean, regardless. I don't let a whole lot of people come in here and touch that thing. It is open, but I told my kids it's off limits. You can't touch the trophies. You can touch pretty much everything else in my office, but the trophies, they kind of stay up there on the shelf. But it probably could use a nice deep clean, so I'm gonna have to look into that. Sorry, guys.
Let's get it dusted, polished up. This time of year, it feels appropriate, especially as we discussed that today. We mentioned Andy Reid making his From the Logo debut. Also, he will discuss why he's so dialed in on specifically BYU basketball in the post-Jimmer days. He analyzes Cougar hoops, Jimmer.
Yes, he does. He does it a big way. You can tell that he follows it. Like, he watches the games, he knows the guys, he knows the team, how they're playing. And he loves BYU sports. So he's locked in on BYU football, basketball, even all the other sports. Like, he's locked in with BYU in general. I think he's just a sports fan in general, right? So he just loves to be around and watching games and doing that on his off time. And he's definitely locked in. So it was fun to talk to him about some hoops.
Andy's in the details, right down to the players' haircuts. I'm not kidding. That
yes, he
is happening.
Yeah, he is.
We've got a loaded open gym segment, including which NBA veteran weighed in on the show. Excited to reveal that. And was Jimmer a Division I college football prospect? Did Jimmer have Division I college football scholarship offers? We're going to get into that, plus my latest grammar pet peeve of the week. We're making a difference, one correction at a time.
Please don't.
Do you hate it because you're guilty of it? I have to wonder.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is not my segment, but I love it. It's hilarious.
Let's go up tempo now. It's time for the early tray. 3 top of mind subjects to set the pace and get the conversation rolling. Jimmer, I know the answer, but I'm going to ask anyway. Are you ready to shoot?
Oh, let's roll it, baby. Let's do it.
Gear up for this. Number 1, Bleacher Report released their latest National Player of the Year rankings in men's college basketball. Cam Boozer of Duke is at number 1, AJ Dybantsa at number 2 from BYU, and JT Toppin of Texas Tech sits at number 3. Who should be the National Player of the Year in college basketball and take home the trophy that you have in the display case behind you?
Yeah, it's a great debate, and it's crazy that the top 2 are freshmen, right? Like, this year, the freshman class is just absolutely stacked. Like, 3 of the top 5, I think, in the Bleacher Report are actually freshmen. And it's pretty incredible. To be honest with you, I think they have the order right now. I do. I think they have the order right, the Bleacher Report. I agree with all top 3 of them. Cam has had an incredible season. He's been super consistent. He's obviously they're about averaging almost the exact same amount of points, which is crazy. Cam rebounds it a little bit better. AJ's better with the assists. AJ's a more dynamic player athletically, and some of the stuff that he's done this year with BYU is just absolutely amazing. He absolutely is well deserved if he gets that award. That's no one would say otherwise. I think it's pretty close, interchangeable right now between those two. I'd give Cam a slight edge though, because they are, top 5 in the country. He's been super consistent. They've won some really big games, and he's been playing really well in those big games. There's something to be said about that, obviously. Now, AJ has a lot of opportunity ahead of him to be able to play big in some really big games. And if that is critical, and if he goes on a tear and beats Kansas, right? They beat Kansas, and then they beat, Houston, and they beat, some of these top tier teams in the conference, and he has big games. That could shift the conversation a little bit. But it has to happen, right? If it doesn't, I think it's going to stay pat. Now, JT Toppin, he has a chance too. That kid has played incredible basketball. He had a huge game against Houston, where they won and their home floor. If he continues to play that way, he's an incredible rebounder. He's one of the best in the country. He's scoring the ball very well as well. If he continues to play well, and then all of a sudden they get into the top 10, close to the top 5 because they keep winning, and he's being huge in some of these big games, I could see that, being something that tilts in his favor too. He already has a win against BYU. He has a win against Houston. If he keeps doing that, you never know. But these other guys are gonna have to drop a little bit. They're gonna have to lose some games, I think, in order for that the case. But I agree with Bleach. I don't love agreeing with people like the way it works, but I think they got these top 3 right. And what are your thoughts?
As of today, I believe that Cam Boozer has the weightiest resume because he has played great basketball in some signature quad 1A tier type games.
Yep.
AJ against UConn was amazing in the second half, but he was
Right.
non-existent in the first half, and BYU
Yep.
lost that game.
Right.
He recently had his worst shooting performance of his collegiate career against number 1 ranked Arizona with a huge national audience. That didn't help the cause.
Yeah.
So for someone like AJ Dybantsa to jump over Cameron Boozer, he absolutely has to have a
He has to.
transcendent experience, and probably a couple of them showing up and playing his best basketball in the biggest Big 12 games in the toughest conference in America. So that's where Cam Boozer has an advantage right now, as he has done that is in some A-plus tier games. And come on, it's Duke. He's the best player for Duke, a major
matters.
national brand, arguably the biggest
Yeah.
college basketball brand ever. I know that's a debate for another day, but it's right up there.
Yep.
And that helps when you're the best player at Duke, and Duke is a top 5 team, and you are in so many high level games, and you're the guy who's playing good basketball in those games.
Yeah.
You're going to have the edge. So
Absolutely.
AJ's going to have to do something like you did while you were at BYU. You were so good, and you were so transcendent and so
Right.
different and you had so many moments, so many
Yep.
huge games against San Diego State, right? Like that was your biggest game, and you had 43 points, and you upset the number 4 undefeated team in the country. Like AJ needs to do something like that to push himself above Cam Boozer. I feel bad for JT Toppin at Texas Tech a little bit. I feel
Seriously.
like he's undervalued. He's the only
agree.
college basketball player in the entire country averaging a double-double, meaning double figures points, double figures rebounds. No other player in the country is doing that. But I think we've gotten so used to it that it's just
I
like,
know.
oh yeah, JT Toppin doing his thing. He's the reigning Big 12 player of the year. But
Yeah.
it's almost like he's not exciting enough, and I feel like
Yeah.
that's unfair to him, but that's why he's number 3.
I agree with you completely. And like I said, that's why I threw him in there. I think that he's a guy that should be considered a national player of the year candidate. Obviously, he's top 3 in the Bleacher Report's reporting. But, for me, he's been as consistent and as good as anybody in the country all year. And he continues to do it. He did it last year. He's doing it again, even a higher level this year. And he's doing what Cam Boozer is doing out in Duke, even to a better, maybe even obviously more rebounds, maybe to a higher degree against better opponents sometimes. Like, I
the
mean,
Big 12.
he did it against Houston and BYU. Like, those are 2 of the top, 12 teams in the country, I would say. And, he has more opportunities to go ahead. So I think that those 3, they're fairly close. Like I said, AJ's going to have a moment, right? And that's going to be the thing. For me, I had moments, but I also played different than everyone else. So it was catchy. People saw that, they're like, holy goodness, this is different. I'm not used to this. Whereas sometimes
he's shooting from 30 feet away
Right.
consistently and making it.
And AJ has that ability because of his athleticism, right? The thing that is different from him than Cam and JT is his transcendent ability to be able to get to the rim, have some key moments where he's making big shots, but also transcendent type dunks and type athletic plays that these other guys may not be able to do just because of who he is and how he kind of plays his game. He's a fun player to watch as far as that's concerned. The other guys just are so consistent and they just do business. They just get out there and they play, and they know how to seal. They know how to rebound. They know how to put back. Cam can shoot it a little bit. JT's worked on his jumper a little bit, obviously, and been able to hit some threes. But they're just so consistent and so fundamentally sound. They're bigger than everybody else. They know how to use it, and sometimes that's boring. But it looks like right now, obviously, Cam's in the firm lead, and someone's going to have to knock him down in order for them to make an actual, player of the year run.
A quick note before we move into topic number 2. I know some of you are going to see this and say, you idiots, where is Darren Peterson of Kansas? He's the most polished, dynamic scorer in college basketball right now. His finesse is incredible. He's so fun to watch. Darren Peterson absolutely deserves to be the number 1 or number 2 pick in the NBA draft. I think you would agree with me, Jimmer. But he's been injured and he hasn't played a ton. Like, to win the college basketball player of the year and the Naismith award, you have to play in a majority of the games. And unfortunately for Darren Peterson, he hasn't. So that is why he's not in this conversation legitimately to win that award.
Yeah, it's as simple as that, right? He's as talented as anybody in the country. He's one of the best scorers, if not the best scorer in the country. He's the best natural scorer in the country, I would say. Obviously, he's going to be a top 2, top 3 pick, depending on where you put him. So he's an incredible basketball player. He just hasn't played enough games. It's as simple as that, right? Like, he just hasn't played enough. He hasn't had like a big moment either, because he just hasn't been out on the floor quite as much as some of these other guys have. So that just goes without saying. Unfortunately for him, he's had a little bit of a hamstring injury that he's been dealing with throughout the season this year. That doesn't mean that he's not one of the best players in the country, but to be player of the year, you have to have the full season resume, and that's what these other guys have right now.
Yes, and I will add, again, for AJ's case, he had 13 points against Texas Tech, had the flu, wasn't feeling great, and had some hangover there for some sickness, but still, people will say, well, he had 13 points against Texas Tech, and where was he in the first half against UConn? And then he had his worst shooting performance against Arizona. Like, AJ has plenty of opportunities, but he's going to have to do something special, probably in multiple big games, to have any legitimate case at getting into that number 1 spot. Fascinating conversation. We can't wait to watch it unfold as we push towards March. Speaking of March and big time environments and just college basketball and the folklore and the pageantry and everything that goes into it, one of college basketball's rising analysts and a social media influencer, Ryan Hammer, recently visited the Marriott Center and a BYU men's basketball game for the first time. He left with a lofty compliment for Jimmer's other house, calling it, quote, the best game day environment in all of college basketball, end quote, that he has experienced to date. Notably, he hasn't been to a game at Kansas and Allen Fieldhouse or Cameron Indoor and
Right.
Duke. So it's an incomplete list, but still some nice
Sure.
words. So my question for you, Jimmer, is does the Marriott Center game day production, environment, atmosphere, all of it belong in the same A+ tier, like a top 5, as places like Kansas, Duke, Mackey Arena at Purdue, or even St. John's, where they play at Madison Square Garden?
Yeah. Let me just tell you this. BYU's game day production, the actual on-court production and what they do for entertainment for people outside of the game, right? There's the game itself, there's the atmosphere itself, and then there's the game day production. The game day production at BYU is, in my opinion, the best in the country, and it's not even close. Their game day production is amazing. The stuff that they do with Cosmo, with the dancing, with all the stuff at halftime, with the treats that they have in concession stands, like with all the stuff that they have around their game day, it's the most fun game for a family to go to. Okay. And obviously you would thinking I'm saying that because I'm biased, because I'm a BYU guy. I've been to a ton of games, football and basketball, all over the world. and the production is incredible. I'm just telling you right now, there's no one that does it better than BYU. So I just have to get that out there because kudos to BYU because they put on an incredible show. They just do. As far as atmospheres are concerned, that's a little bit different, right? When you're talking about just college fans that are coming in to scream and yell and chant and be a part of the arena, I think BYU is still a hugely successful atmosphere in the arena. Obviously, Kansas.
8,000 fans. 8,000 in the Marriott Center.
It's crazy, right? And
like 8,000 students, not the
students.
whole. I'm just
Just
talking
students.
just students.
Just students in that section. It's really wild. It is. It's one of the best atmospheres as well in the country. It just is. Kansas is absolutely up there, and it just should be. Allen Fieldhouse, all of the history that it has, the fans, how knowledgeable they are of the sport. All of these things are absolutely amazing. Duke.
I mean, you're talking about walking into that arena, you see the original basketball rules by Dr. James Naismith.
Yeah.
Like the history around that venue and in the venue, like it's it's special. It feels different when you walk into Allen Fieldhouse. Like it's almost like a religious experience for college basketball fans the first time you get into those doors and you're like, man, the history of this place is wild. So that's going to be tough to match up with anybody, with anywhere else in the country.
It feels like basketball. Like it feels like college basketball when you go into that arena. So that's something that's really, really cool. Cameron Indoor is a special place because of how small and intimate it is. They haven't changed it. It's small, it's intimate, it's super loud. The students are absolutely insane. They know exactly what they're doing. They are in unison. They know how to participate in the game, be able to get in people's head. They are literally right on you. They could touch you, right? Like they're literally could go out and they basically touch the guy that's actually taking the ball out of bounds. So those types of things with Cameron Indoor is incredible. I think
an impossible ticket at Duke, by the way. Impossible.
Yeah, absolutely impossible. I got to talk to my guy, Carlos Boozer. I played with him at the in the Chicago Bulls. Be like, Booze, I got to get to a game at some point this year. Can you get me some tickets, my man? Right? Like, goodness gracious. But couple other notables. Obviously, Kentucky, Rupp. Huge, very big stadium, incredible basketball experience, and just the fans, the knowledge, the whole thing. They're it's a great atmosphere. Indiana, it makes it special, right? Like it's either good or bad in that arena, but either way, it's a great atmosphere, right? Either way, it's either way. Yes, there. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I love that. So obviously great. Indiana, and when that place was back in the day when they had their run and they were playing, those fans are amazing. It's a cool arena to be in. So I think that, and then the last one that I think is very interesting and also something that is different is Syracuse. Syracuse in the Dome. It's one of those things where you feel like you're playing in a Final Four game, like every night, because you're playing in a football stadium. So they bring those stands out. They have 30. It's the most people that you can fit in a basketball arena, obviously, for college. And 35,000 people, sometimes getting close to 40,000 people when they were back in their heyday when we were playing and they're playing against UConn. Then you're on that floor in the Dome. And it gets loud, but it's just a cool experience to be out on that floor in that huge environment, just playing against in front of a ton of fans, right? So I had to give a little shout out to my upstate New York, Syracuse Orange, that for the atmosphere. But those are some amazing atmosphere. It's hard to say, hey, this one's definitively the best, but what I can say is that BYU's game day is definitively the best. That's what I can say.
Well, will you put the Marriott Center and everything that goes into the top 5, like top 5? Even if it's at number 5.
I would. I absolutely would. I 100% would. Because, I mean, I played there for 4 years, and it's gotten better since I've gotten there. The Rock is just continuing to be an incredible atmosphere. It is an absolute top 5 venue, in my opinion. And anyone that goes there sees it. And they're like, this is actually this is different. This is really cool.
I'd encourage anybody that has the opportunity to take that chance and get in there because it is, while it doesn't have the history of a place like Allen Fieldhouse or Cameron Indoor or, some of these other older arenas, man, the experience is unbelievable. Okay, topic 3 here to close out the early tray. Jimmy, you've worn a lot of different jersey and uniform combos in your college and professional career. So, just out of curiosity, because your jersey is going to hang from the rafters, and yeah, you don't get to decide the color or the design of that, but
Yeah.
what's your favorite jersey uniform combo that you ever donned at any stage of your collegiate or professional career?
Yeah. It's a great question. I've had some really good jerseys. I've had some really bad jerseys as well. I'm just gonna say it. Like, there's some not great stuff out there. But there's some awesome jerseys. I'm gonna lay it down for you. My top 5. I wrote down
Okay.
top 5 all the way up to number 1. Okay. Just as a spoiler,
Mhm.
BYU is not on the list.
Wow, none of them.
Not the
None
fun.
of.
Listen, Spence, listen. I only had 2 jerseys, 2 jersey styles when I was at BYU. Okay. The first one I had for 3 years. It was the exact same jersey for the first 3 years that I was there. It was not great. Then the last one, my senior year, we finally changed to a different jersey. And people make fun of that uniform because of how baggy the shorts were. They were huge. It was like a parachute pant. It was the style back in the day, okay? We loved it back in the day. But I look back in it now and I'm like, we had some stuff. We had some stuff to work on back at BYU. We
You're
didn't
gonna
wear
have your jersey retired by BYU, and it doesn't make your top 5 list.
Listen, I appreciate BYU and all that they've done for me. I love it. Their jerseys now are great.
Yes,
It was when
amazing.
I was there, we didn't have the royal, like we literally had no alternate jerseys. It was just the 2 combinations that we had, and love BYU, but that's the spoiler. They
Yeah.
are not on the list. I am so sorry as far as looks are concerned. Okay. Top 5, number 5 here, Spence. We had a kind of like a royal ocean blue Shanghai Sharks jersey that we had, and I loved it. Now people mostly know Shanghai Sharks for the orange jersey, white, like that's kind of what it sees. But we had like this alternate blue jersey that I've kept, and we only wore it like one time. Primo, very good, loved it, and had to get some love to the Shanghai Sharks because I played there for so long. Love that jersey, and there's a
You
lot
got
of
to take a
Shanghai
picture
Shark
of it and make
Protect
sure it
jersey out
gets on
there.
the pod. Like, take a picture of that thing and make
Yeah.
sure we can show it.
Yeah, I'll send it. I'll send it over to you guys. Number 4, the green St. Patrick's Chicago Bulls jersey that we wore on St. Patrick's Day. Very cool, just unique, different, right? Like it was specifically for that. They always wear green, and St. Patrick's Day is a big deal in Chicago. And I just thought it was a cool, unique, different type of jersey. So I
They
love that.
dye the river green for crying out loud on that
100%.
day.
They're all out on St. Patty's Day. It's fun.
That's cool.
Number 3, I had an orange, white, and blue checkered New York Knicks jersey that I have hanging in my in my house. That was fire, to be honest with you. Like, it was just an absolute awesome jersey. Like, they have cool jerseys in general, but this was kind of just like a retro type of feel. Very clean. Had the checkered on the sleeves. It was really, really a great jersey. So that's number 3. Number 2, the classic red with a little bit of white Chicago Bulls jersey. Like the Jordan. You know what I mean? Like, when people see that, is an amazing jersey. It's just clean. It stands out. People know it. It's recognizable. And I was fortunate enough to be able to wear that jersey. And I will say this little tidbit with the Chicago Bulls. I am the leader of all time of scoring the quickest as a Chicago Bull in their first game ever. I have that record with the Chicago Bulls. I literally got the ball within 1 second. They passed it to me and I shot it because I was open and I made it. And I have that record. They told me about it. All right. That's the tidbit that I had there for the Chicago Bulls.
Shortest amount of time on the floor to a bucket. I love
Yes.
it, dude.
Absolutely.
I love it.
I can always hold that in my heart. Number 1, best jersey I ever wore. Classic navy and red USA Olympic jersey.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, USA on your chest, the classic navy with the red, just looking like Captain America. You know what I mean? Like, just Absolutely
it.
love that jersey. An honor to wear with all of the stuff that goes with it. It was amazing. It's hanging up in my house as well. And that is my number one jersey that I have ever worn. How do you like the list?
I salute it, especially for number one on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd go there. We didn't have a
Yeah.
conversation about it before we got
No,
on to do this, so
we did not.
I'm glad that you delivered for the red, white, and blue. The early tray and from the logo, as always. Great stuff, man. Great basketball talk, right in your wheelhouse.
Oh, it was fire. We need to do more of this. Let's keep this
Yeah.
basketball talk up. Oh, it's
Yeah,
great. It was a lot of fun.
The future topics have plenty of high-level basketball conversations that have been put in there, so you can count on that as we push into March Madness and beyond. All right, time for our first break. When we come back, Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid takes on the full court press. What he thinks about Jimmer's jersey hanging in the Marriott Center rafters forever, and what's happening in his earlier than expected NFL offseason right now. From the Logo continues with Andy Reid after this.
If you or your business are looking to reach a wide audience, From the Logo with Jimmer Fredette will help you reach your goals. Whether you're interested in title sponsorship, segment sponsorship, or product placement on the podcast, email us at jimmerftl@gmail.com and let us help you shoot your shot.
Welcome back to From the Logo with Jimmer Fredette. It is time for the full court press with our VIP guest. He was hired as the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs in 2013 after a successful stint with the Philadelphia Eagles. Andy Reid. He helped revitalize the struggling franchise into the league's best. In 13 seasons with KC, he's led the Chiefs to 11 postseason appearances, 9 consecutive division titles, 7 consecutive AFC championship games at one stretch, 5 Super Bowl appearances, and 3 Super Bowl titles. We had a chance to speak with Coach Reid just a few days ago. Here is the entirety of that conversation. Coach, so great to have you on From the Logo, and as part of our celebration for Jimmer Fredette's jersey retirement, let's just begin with your first impression and maybe the first time you heard Jimmer's name and what you associate in your mind with that.
Man, I think scoring. I love that.
Let's go.
Listen, I watch BYU all the time, so I mean, I try to stay updated on everything. I've still got so many, as you know, I've got so many friends up there and ex-teammates and all that work there. So it's basketball. I love basketball, college basketball in particular, and I love watching him do his thing, man. And then on top of that, he gets that number 32, man, hanging from the rafters. That's even better. So that's having a great career.
It is incredible, Coach. Like what an honor. Absolute amazing to be able to have that happen on February 14th. So I appreciate that. And we both love scoring. I mean, you can tell in your football teams the way you play, love to score the football. And for us, obviously I was always shooting, and I was happy my takes would let me do that so much. But speaking of the BYU basketball team, what are your thoughts on their team this year? Obviously they've played incredible basketball. As we're recording today, they have a huge game in Arizona tonight. What are your thoughts on the team this year?
Yeah, that's a big one tonight. I don't know. Listen, Arizona's strong, but maybe not as strong as they have been in the past, but they're pretty good. I mean, they're still good. The Cougs, though, they're rolling right now. So that was big. That was a big home one the other day, and that the rookie, whew, man, he's gonna compete against some of those records you have, man. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
He might not stick around long enough, but I could see that. He's pretty good, and I think they've done a great job. I love their head coach and how he handles all of that. It's one thing to have all the great players. It's another thing how to handle them. And there's only one ball as you're going through this thing. So they seem to spread it around, and their center physical kid that gets up and willing to get after it and kind of play his role, and the point guard, I kind of like his game. He does a nice job. God, I need to talk to him about his haircut. We got to work on the haircut. The rest of it,
That's funny.
Listen, they're doing a great job. So we just keep it going.
Let's go ahead and add college basketball analyst to Andy Reid's resume after that breakdown of BYU. Coach, you do so many things well. And Jimmer and I were talking earlier about your ability to adapt to big personalities. And BYU's basketball coach Kevin Young has talked a lot about the adapting to the new age athlete. How have you been able to so successfully navigate changing personalities and mentalities and stay at the top of your game?
Yeah, I think you have to be yourself. First of all, I think if you try to hide it, you've been around as long as I have. You should be in acting. So it's it's time kind of distinguishes who you are and what you are to the players. And if you stay consistent and relative, and you're hoping for their best interests, and we know we're all here to be teachers, and so try to teach the guys and give them an opportunity to maximize their potential. I mean, it's kind of what you do. And if you can keep that simple and be honest with them, which sometimes is the hardest thing to do with people. So, but be honest with them and shoot them straight, but at the same time, give them guidance to where they can maximize all those great abilities that great athletes have.
Yeah, and coach, you've been a part of so many great teams, from Philadelphia to now the Chiefs, and you've been a part of it, great winning seasons, Super Bowl seasons. I'm curious if you found that there is something that is similar within all of the great teams that you've been a part of. Like, what is one or two things that are similar as far as the dynamic of the team or the mindset of the team going into the season? What is similar about all of those great teams you've been a part of?
Yeah, I think not being selfish is probably top of the list. Being willing to, in basketball, to dish it off to somebody when necessary, but at the same time, having enough guys that are A-level players that can deliver when needed to deliver and want to. I mean, they're good with that. The ones that kind of shy away from that, you go, all right. So they will deliver at that time. But the whole honesty thing, I think, is also important. I think if the guys are honest with each other, that means they're trusting each other. Normally, they work things out, and then coaches are going, man, I got a great locker room. That's why we're winning, and I think that's important.
I was talking with your assistant coach and one of your longtime friends, Porter Ellett, about the dynamic in that Chiefs locker room, specific to the BYU versus Texas Tech conversation that is ongoing. Coach, how would you explain the Red Raiders Cougars rivalry combo in the Chiefs locker room?
Porter knows he was the other half of that at the football game. So he and Patrick went down there together, and I was supposed to jump in with them, and I didn't quite make the game. But it's they are there's a great feeling in professional sports for the college level. I think we all love it and love watching. I'm speaking for Jimmer here, but I mean in football that's the way it is. So when it comes to Saturdays, I mean, jerseys are on and guys are for their teams, and there's competition. If my team beats your team, you're wearing my jersey the next week. So you got to walk into that team meeting with that jersey on. That's you're going to get razzed a little bit.
That's for sure. And you'll be lucky if you just have to wear the jersey, right? You'll be lucky if that's the
Yes.
only
Yeah.
consequence that you have, right, coach? We
Yeah.
understand that, but we love our teams, and it's always a little friendly fire when we're playing against someone on your team, which is awesome and fun. So, coach, tell me a little bit about, the off season for you. Obviously, during the season, you're in practice mode. You're getting practice plans together. You're game planning. You're watching film. You're doing all these things. What is it like for you in the off season, though? What are you generally working on and getting prepared for that next season?
Yeah, we wish it was a lot shorter than it is right now, this off season.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
we're coming. This is the longest we've had, I think, since I've been here, and
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
to sit here and watch these games. It taps you on the forehead and reminds you that you better do a little bit better. But the off season, you go back and you do your scheme evaluations in the morning. You do personnel in the afternoon. You're getting ready for free agency and the draft. You got the combine coming up. There is no real off season in the NFL.
Right.
You might get a week or two here or there. But other than that, you've got so much work that you've got to keep cranking on to stay on top of the game. Yeah.
Coach, we have a few more minutes with you. A big part of this podcast and the reason that Jimmer and I wanted to do this is to talk about the balance of faith, family, and football. And you have been such an incredible example of figuring that out. What is the key to maintaining the proper perspective and keeping faith in place and football where it belongs in its appropriate space? Because it's not easy to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is, I think when you're in professional sports, there's a little bit of that fantasy world deal that can take place. And so if you don't have if you're not grounded a certain way, it can really get away from you. So I have a good wife that slaps me upside the head. No, I mean, we're lucky to have that, that as a constant reminder. And kids might be the best reminder. I'm not sure how old your kids are, Jimmer, but as a coach, my kids were in that, have gone through that teenage years and preteens, and they would, where everybody might tell you how good you did, they'd give you all the bad stuff when you got home. They'd make sure that you're trying to do the right things, but it keeps you grounded, and that's important. And through our faith, we know that that's a big thing. We're taught that, and in many cases, we're taught it at a very young age, and we come up through it and live it. And that discipline, I think, can also be beneficial to you as an athlete. That as we trust in our Heavenly Father there.
Yeah, it's such great perspective. My kids are 8, 6, and 3 right now, coach. So I'm going through it, and it's awesome. Such a good time. And but they keep you grounded. My wife, the same thing, especially because we're gone a lot, right? We're doing
That's right.
things we have to, and it's a team effort. It really is a team effort, and we love hearing that. So maybe one or two rapid fire questions here, coach, as
Fire
we
away, baby.
ended up. This one should be fun, but what's your favorite burger spot in KC? Where do I have to go? Because I haven't been to KC yet.
Yes.
And I need to get out there, and I need to go to the best burger spot when I get there.
Well, just go. We don't have one here, but In and Out, I love it, and it's right up the street from in Provo there, but in Orem. But listen, these guys, I'm not giving you a very short answer here, but
It's okay.
there are too many spots for a short answer. So
Oh, I love it. Fire away. I want to hear
Yeah,
it.
they all want to shoot at you. You know, Third Street Social. I mean, I can go on, but it's yeah, when you come here, I'll treat you. How's that?
Hey, 100%. You kidding me? I'll be out
All
there
right.
next week.
All right.
That's what's
great.
up.
Yeah.
All right, coach. I'm gonna join the conversation here as we close out. My oldest is 14. I've got 4, and they range from 5 to 14. What advice do you have for me as I approach the always entertaining teenage years as a parent?
Yeah, keep loving them, man. Keep loving them and teach them the best you can. I've had ups and downs in that area. I've lived through most all of it. So, and now I've got 14 blessed grandchildren. Now, all those little headaches there that I had, I'm going, you know what? These grandkids are worth it, so, but there's always, that's part of life. There's trials and tribulations for all of us. I mean, we've all got them. And so it happens, and you keep loving them and teaching them and the best you can.
Coach, thanks so much for the time and to help us celebrate the legacy of Jimmer Fredette as we get set to retire his jersey. We wish you all the best blessings and all the best to you and your family in Kansas City.
All right, man. Happy Valentine's Day. Doggone, right?
That's
what
right.
we're
Let's
talking
go.
about. Listen, I'm proud of you, man. You
you.
represent the right way. So you're a great one.
Holy cow, Jimmer. How does getting a shout out from Andy Reid to celebrate your jersey retirement rank among the all-time shout outs that you've received? I mean, it's got to be right there with Kevin Durant calling you the best scorer in the world, no?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I am such a huge fan of Andy Reid. I've never been a Kansas City Chiefs fan in my life, right? Until Andy Reid got there. And when Andy Reid got there, I loved him. I just loved the way he operates, how he's such a player's coach, how he's a good dude, faithful guy, and someone that is so creative too on the field. Like the offenses that he runs, the plays, the way he lets his teams just kind of kind of be the best versions of themselves. I love that. And, I would love to play for a coach like that. Obviously, I played for a few coaches like that. It's just awesome to have a shout out from him, knowing my jersey retirement, BYU and all that I've, done there. it's that's special because that's a top 5 coach ever.
Fantastic stuff. So great to talk with him. And not shockingly, one of our favorite guests in the history of the show, but just a taste of things to come as we push forward with this project. Okay, we're going to call timeout. When we return on From the Logo, we get into Open Gym and Jimmer's high school football career. Would Andy Reid have recruited you if he were a college coach? I mean, there are some things happening here. Don't go anywhere. From the Logo continues after this.
If you or your business are looking to reach a wide audience, From the Logo with Jimmer Fredette will help you reach your goals. Whether you're interested in title sponsorship, segment sponsorship, or product placement on the podcast, email us at jimmerftl@gmail.com and let us help you shoot your shot.
From the Logo rolls on, and we now open up things to our listeners and viewers with your submitted comments and questions from social media straight to us. Jimmer, start us off today.
Yeah, this gonna be a good one today. So at Aaron Christensen, disco golf stuff. We're gonna have to go play some disco golf at some point, Aaron. He commented on one of our posts, LOL, can't help but laugh about Coach Rose's camera angle. Great stuff as always, fellas. Listen, Aaron, okay? We mentioned it to Coach Rose, okay? He understands that he is not the most technologically advanced person on the planet, okay? Cheryl helps him out a lot in that manner. We were lucky to be able to get him on the actual Riverside that we use, right? So for him to be on and be able to have it so that it stayed straight and he did it, we were completely happy with that. The angle, we understand. He even talked about it. He's like, sorry, I had the angle. This is how I had to do it, right? Regardless, we had one of the best guys ever on the podcast, my man, Coach Rose. And but yeah, we had some laughs about that as well, Aaron. So we appreciate you pointing that out.
I saw him a few days ago, right after we recorded the conversation with him, and told both Dave and Cheryl that I was just proud of him for finding the screen lock so that he could take it from portrait mode to landscape mode. Like, that was a win. That was a win, Jimmer.
It was an absolute win. We are fortunate we got that.
The angle was low. It's okay. But hey, at least we got the landscape mode that we needed. I thought that was fantastic.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
We should also talk about his health update, and I'm so glad that he revealed this to us towards the end of our conversation. He told us that he recently went in for a scan. He's been battling cancer on and off, not to mention a man who's overcome a stroke and a heart attack. And he said that while there were some not great things, they still said, come back in 4 months and we'll do this again. And so he said, I've already outkicked my life expectancy with everything that's gone on, and I just got 4 more months. His gratitude and his humility and just how down to earth and real he is about it. Man, I love that guy.
Yeah, he is. He really is the best. And like I said, he's an absolute fighter. Like, he is going to fight until the bitter end, whether it's on the basketball court, whether it's in life and with cancer, it does not matter. It's hard to keep that guy down. And he enjoys life. He enjoys his family. It's fun to see him going around and being with his grandkids and doing all the fun things that he gets to do. And he's enjoying as much as he possibly can. But yeah, we hope the best for Coach Rose. Always thinking of him. And yeah, it was fun to have him on camera angle and all.
What an unbelievable inspiration for so many reasons. The great Dave Rose. Okay, next entry in Open Gym comes from @BradenMumblo_, who said on Instagram and specifically asked, Jimmer, Glens Falls football legend too? And you responded with, yeah, shout it from the mountaintops, baby. Okay. Jimmer, are you considered a Glens Falls football legend?
Legend is it's a big word, right? Like, legend is a big word. Let's put it that way. I could play some football. Okay. I will say that. I will put it out there. I could play some football. I was getting offered by schools to play receiver at the Division I level. Penn State came to my school and talked to my coaching staff about me, of like, hey, and what's his interest? What's his interest in playing football? This was my junior year of high school. I was first team all state, first junior year of high school, and as a receiver, and played really well, had a great season. And I told Coach Lilac at the time, I was like, "Hey, listen, Coach, I'm sorry. I know that they're coming and asking me, but just shut them down because I am not playing football. Like, I just do not want to play football in college. I love the football games. I hated football practice. It was one of my least favorite things to do. It was cold. You're hitting your best friend from, school. You're like, hey, line up and let's do an Oklahoma drill. And you're like, all right, I don't feel like I wasn't wired that way, right? Like I loved catching the ball and running for touchdowns, and I could do that. And I didn't mind the physicality or anything, but there's a certain wiredness that you have to have when you play football, and I just loved basketball. But I did play, and I was pretty good, and it was something that I really enjoyed doing through high school.
At C Gray rather, at C Gray 3331 also said on Instagram, quote, unbelievable football player, could have been a D1 receiver, end quote.
How about
Jimmer,
that?
I
Sick.
knew you were a good high school football
How about
player.
that?
I didn't know that Division I universities were knocking on the door of your high school football coach, and that Penn State was showing interest.
Yeah, they came through. They came through and talked to my coach. And I think it's one of those things where I was not putting myself out there as a football player. If I did, I think I could have, gone and played football Division I as a receiver. And I was fairly tall. I mean, 6'2", good size receiver. I have a good frame, so I could have put on weight if I wanted to. At BYU, I was bigger. I was like 200 and, over 200 pounds. I could have easily done more if I really wanted to. So I could have been a solid size receiver. I wasn't like the fastest person, but I ran like a 4.6 40 in high school. So I was, did not too bad, and probably could have improved that if I really, really worked on it and wanted to, but could catch the ball and knew how to use my body. Let's put it that way. So it was good. I enjoyed it, like I said, and appreciate my man, C. Greg, for letting everyone know it could have been a D1 receiver. It's not just coming from me. It's coming from C. Greg as well.
Absolutely. All right. How about our next entry that comes from an NBA veteran, Jimmer? In fact, I'm going to let you reveal who that is.
Yeah, absolutely. This is big time stuff. Next entry comes from our NBA veteran, Matt Barnes, okay, who has a successful podcast himself, who is the man. In response to our episode with ESPN's Sean Farnham, and Sean turning down 34 scholarship offers to join UCLA as a walk-on. Matt said, at Matt_Barnes9 on IG said, that's dope, bro. That's the comment we got from a man, Matt Barnes.
Indeed it is.
And it is absolutely an incredible story. That's why we shared it with everybody. And 34 offers, he said no to all of them to go to UCLA. And obviously Matt, being a UCLA alum himself, he was very happy with that decision by Sean. So it was really cool to have, Matt chime in on the pod and the socials. It's really cool.
Real, recognize real, and that UCLA connection, no doubt about it, is very real. Okay, final submission from at Real Alex Rasmussen, Jimmer, who says, hey, Spencer, and this is in on YouTube, I must ax you a question. Does saying ax instead of ask get you fired up as especially versus especially does? And what Pacific grammar rule is that? With a wink emoji. Okay, yeah, there are several things happening in this, and I appreciate the creativity that's gone into this from Alex. I will say this. I feel like the ask you a question thing is more a regional dialect and almost cultural in some capacities. And so that one honestly doesn't really hit my list. Like that one doesn't bother me because it's just, if you grow up and you hear that and you're like, that is how I'm going to say that because that's how I've always heard it. And that's how I'm going to in turn then replicate that. Not really a deal for me. That's almost like a regional dialect thing. It almost falls into, depending on where you were raised in the country. Okay. So that one doesn't irk me like especially does. That just makes my ears bleed. And that is the perfect segue into Spencer's grammar pet peeve of the week, which today, Jimmer, is the oft and painfully misuse of your and your, meaning YOU apostrophe RE, which stands for you are. You are, okay? Versus YOUR, which is showing possession. It is possessive. It belongs to you, okay? And my favorite is whenever I have a hot take on social media or on one of the shows that I do, or even on this podcast, and people disagree with it, this happens at least once a month. I will get "you're an idiot" with YOUR. People, if you're going to insult me and name call and berate, you better freaking get your grammar right.
Oh
Okay?
my goodness.
Or I'm
That is
coming back with a fury.
That is hilarious.
You're YOUR. You're an idiot. I can't make it up, but it happens at least once a month. At least use the proper grammar. At that point, tip of the cap, it's your opinion. You can call me whatever you want. You're a moron, YOUR. Don't do it, okay? And it's almost painful too, because people sometimes offer compliments or send messages like, "Oh, you're so thoughtful." Just YOU apostrophe RE. You are. So if you can implement "you are" into the sentence, this is how you know. That's how you know, Jimmer. It's that simple. Can you help me spread the good word? Please, with the grammar police here on From the Logo.
This is quickly becoming my favorite segment that we have. Because, oh my, this is amazing. Like, you are passionate, but you thought you were passionate about BYU sports. Spencer is passionate about grammar, and I love it. I am here for it. I am about to start going wild on terrible grammar for you during the podcast, just to see if you catch it. And this is, I absolutely love this. We have to put these out on social so that people can just keep hearing this soapbox that we have going on by Spencer Linton. Incredible stuff. I love it. Let's keep it rolling. I will spread the word as much as I can. I just can't provide the perfect grammar that you need, but I will spread it for you. Absolutely.
Do it for the good of the language, this beautiful language, Jimmer. Grammar matters. All right, that is your grammar pet peeve of the week. If you'd like to submit more grammar suggestions that we need to review, or comments or questions about anything you hear on the podcast, you can do it pretty simply. Follow us on all of our major social media accounts at JimmeryFTL on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok. It's pretty easy to find us. And if you don't want to do that and you want to use a hashtag, you can use hashtag OpenGymFTL. All right. Should we calm down and do a 3x3 segment after the break?
I think we should, Spence. We need to give you a timeout.
I need a drink.
Yeah, you do.
I need a...
Yeah.
Whew. Took it out of me. It took it out of me. The 3x3 update is next. We'll be hydrated and calm down when we come back on From the Logo with Jimmer Fredette.
If you or your business are looking to reach a wide audience, From the Logo with Jimmer Fredette will help you reach your goals. Whether you're interested in title sponsorship, segment sponsorship, or product placement on the podcast, email us at jimmerftl@gmail.com and let us help you shoot your shot.
Hold it up. Fourth quarter From the Logo, moving into the final quarter with our USA Basketball 3x3 update presented by Wilner and O'Reilly. Just call Kelly at Wilner and O'Reilly, an immigration law expert and friend of the show. WilnerO'Reilly.com. GM Jimmer has the latest on the drive to gold in the 2028 Olympics from his 3x3 teams across the globe, plus any additional insight he cares to offer up. So, Jimmer, what is it that you can bring to us for one of the quickly growing Olympic sports?
Yeah, I think one of the fun things about 3x3 basketball is the continuous play that we've talked about a little bit, right? So, what that means for those who don't know, when you shoot the ball and you score, make or miss, you are live right off of that make or miss. And one of the things that we've been trying to implement, and something that I think is a real strategy in 3x3 basketball that is a little interesting, is when someone scores or rebounds and it's under the rim or close to around the rim. You can't play defense in the semicircle. You know how they have the charge circle in the NBA and in college? In that area, if you have the ball, you can't encroach them and get into that area and play actual defense right away. But once they get out of that sphere, half circle, you can start playing defense. So, and they have to clear the basketball before they go back. So one of the things that really good teams do is they start playing defense. As soon as that ball goes in, they are outside of that circle and their arms up and they are playing defense. They try to make it so that you can't clear the ball easily. And what that does, it disrupts your rhythm. It also makes it so that when you get back, sometimes you could have 9 seconds on the shot clock instead of 12, right? Those 3 to 4 seconds that it takes you to get the ball cleared matters a lot, because that's like 1 or 2 actions that you could run that you wouldn't be able to normally run. So like that's a real advantage. The other thing is that you can steal it right off of it. So I'm like, if you're dribbling up, a lot of times if you have a guy that's really good at trying to steal a basketball, it's a perfect time to go for a steal because they can't score. So you're like, hey, I'm just going to go for steals left and right. And that's something that we're working on as a country, of like playing defense very hard so that they can't clear the ball. And if we can get some easy possessions, some easy steals off of that and take away possessions from the other team, we usually win the game. It's a possession game. And if you can offensive rebound and you can steal the ball on clears, if you take those turnovers, that matters a ton in a 10-minute game or a 21-second or a 21-point game. So we've been working on that. That's something that's a little bit unique, different with 3x3 basketball. A lot of times, when you're playing at the park and you have to clear it, they're like, oh, you can't steal it until I clear it. That's not the case in this. It all goes as soon as it's out of that sphere. And it's something that we're working on, something I had to get used to. I was like, you guys are physical and trying to let me get out. I'm getting tired just trying to clear the basketball. Those are the good teams and something that we need to continue to progress out.
I think we need to have a new basketball spin-off game called The Sphere and do something with that area.
Seriously, let's do it. We got to create that ourselves. New Olympic sport coming out, the spear.
The Sphere. Yes. Sounds
great.
so barbaric almost. Awesome. Okay, great insight from you, Jimmer. Really fun episode. Andy Reid was amazing. Final thoughts from you before we say goodbye.
No, just thanks to Coach Reid for coming on. We appreciate the insights, the fun, the laughs, and he's a busy guy, so we're appreciative of the time that he spent with us. We appreciate all you that support us. Continue to subscribe, rate, review the pod, and listen to all the channels that we have. And please continue to interact with us. I try to respond to pretty much everything out there. So to Spence, we're very engaged and interactive. And this pod is moving, so it's been fun to do.
Jimmer, I'll say this in closing. You are, as in YOU''RE, a fantastic friend and podcaster, and I'm excited for your development in this media platform. YOU are possessive. How about that?
Man, you just, yeah, really pushing your point. You know what I mean? Like this is, he's looking for a segment sponsor right now. That's just for him. So yeah, thank you, Spence. I appreciate that. You're the best.
YOU''RE. Thank
That's
you,
right.
Jimmer.
That's
Thank
right.
you. Great stuff. Be well, my friend. A reminder to all of you to shoot your shot in life. We'll see you next time.